Hi, my name is Angelina Vong, and today I will be speaking about the conflict in the workplace and its impact on group cohesiveness, motivation, and job participation. So, what is conflict exactly? According to the textbook, conflict is defined as the behavior within an organization that inhibits the attainment of goals by others. Negative consequences, such as reduction in group cohesiveness and the decrease in motivation, is present in this case. So, me versus them. In my personal opinion, conflict happens due to a clash in different outlooks and mentalities. This year, I've been in UCI's Japanese drumming ensemble for the past 2 years, and although I had full support towards my directorship, we still had strong disagreements on many things, and those things include the use of monetary punishments. I was not okay with this because I felt that it was an insult and a huge offense to those who identify with low socioeconomic status. I also was able to find an offer from another collegiate taiko group after I was able to develop connections in the taiko community, and it was an offer where we could purchase drums for a very, very low price. And for both of those things, there were still disagreements, and I'd advocated for these things for so long, and it just came to the point where I slowly just started to give up, and this impacted my motivation to stay in the group, although my love for playing never ceased. In my case, I felt that intra-group conflict had occurred, and the result had been the feeling of being too different. In the textbook, the definition of intra-group conflict is a person that deviates from the norm, and I felt as a member I am very progressive in a sense, and I believe the traditions that we have, such as using monetary punishments, is something we should let go because the group evolves every year. I felt the conflicts I had with directorship hindered the relationships I had, and I started to feel like the bad guy. The sense of isolation was so great that I considered leaving the group, which can be equivalent to the term employee turnover that we use in class. So, what happens with motivation? When it's a high level, I believe using the expectancy theory of motivation can help us reflect. For my example, questions I can ask myself can be, how important is it in getting new drums? Or how important is it for me to try to get rid of monetary punishments? Do I have the experience and credibility to prove that it can be beneficial? And will it actually be beneficial in the long term? I believe reflecting on these questions can cover the three parts of this theory, which includes valence, expectancy, and instrumentality, and help determine how much a person is motivated for the job. So, what happens if it's a low level? We start questioning our purpose in the group, and we also have a decrease in contribution and unwillingness to develop relationships, meaning such as whether it be completely unrelated to work or others that are not involved with the conflict, the motivation to make relationships with others, such as going out to eat or getting to know them as friends, can decrease as well. Another big thing is the impact on mental health and emotional well being. This was something I actually experienced personally. Because I felt that I wasn't taken seriously or listened to, I started to feel this emotional toll, which was also due to the fact that the communication between me and the other party started to lessen. And then there's absenteeism and quitting, which can be a given if there's no motivation and no reason to be happy in a work environment. So the article I chose in my term paper is titled "The Issues, Behavioral Responses and Consequences in Interpersonal Conflicts." It used the Thomas 1992 model of conflict process, and it involves the four stages, which is frustration and awareness of the conflict, conceptualization, behavior, and outcome. The study had a 5-page questionnaire used for individuals currently involved in the workplace conflict. The sample included 313 professionals from many organizations attending graduate courses. Personal conflicts were measured in qualitative and quantitative terms, meaning, for example, participants described the special effects the conflict had on life away from work, such as eating, sleeping, relationships, etc. And they stated the disabling effect on a scale from 1%, which was no effect, to 100%, cannot function at all. The study concluded organizational power had been the strongest influence, and conflicts with supervisors produce the greatest disabling effect. In general, many conflicts appear to begin with an attempt to confront and understand the other party's use of authority and the issues and the progress towards no longer enjoying the job due to these conflicts. In my example, I do understand this outcome because I had a huge difficulty in deciding to stay in my group over the course of winter quarter. And the result of this matches exactly to my biggest mistake, which was not going to the individuals that contributed to the emotional taxation. So, in conclusion, discussions between coworkers actually helped alleviate the conflict and its disabling effects. So, the solution: definitely communicate effectively. What I learned through the process is going through this long term conflict with leadership really does involve good communication and trying to understand the other party's point of view. And the biggest thing that I learned was to accept the differences of our opinions. And afterwards, I tried to find what motivates me and what would still make me happy by staying in the group. And at the very end, I believe, not just for me, but also in general, if there's something you disagree with and it just cannot be done due to the leadership currently, it's something that you can consider is go from the bottom and up, which is, for in my example, I've been thinking about running for directorship so that I can make these changes. So that is all from me. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I was actually really nervous. As you can see, I stuttered a lot, but hopefully I was able to bring all the things that we learned in this course and also from the textbook and the article that I chose. So thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.